Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the FTD webinar titled Maximize Your Shop's Efficiency and Revenue with Mercury HQ. We are delighted to welcome today's featured presenter, Kristy Bromm, Lead Product Manager at Mercury Solutions. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. Check out that handout section on the GoToWebinar control panel. There is a handout with her slides in there that you can use for keeping track or taking notes. Also, Kristy will take questions at the end of the webinar, but please feel free to submit them during the webinar as you think of them. Simply type your questions in that question box on the control panel. All right, let's get started. Welcome, Kristy.
Thanks, Janet. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. As Janet mentioned, my name is Kristy Bromm, Lead Product Manager within Mercury Solutions. And I've been with FTD for nearly 20 years now. Over that time, I've had a front row seat to how our industry and the technology that supports it continues to evolve. And that's why I'm especially excited to share how Mercury HQ is helping floral businesses like yours work smarter, not harder. So in today's session, we'll explore how this platform can streamline your daily operations, improve delivery efficiency, and even open up new revenue opportunities, all through one powerful florist-focused system. Here's what we'll be exploring today. We're going to take a look at the most impactful ways Mercury HQ helps you manage your floral business more efficiently and more profitably. So from, smarter delivery tools and rush services to instant proof of delivery and even mobile access. Each feature is designed to save you time, reduce stress, and to grow your bottom line. Let's start with just a quick introduction to Mercury HQ, especially for those of you who are seeing it for the first time. Mercury HQ is a cloud-based shop management platform designed specifically for florists. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's tailored to the real workflows of the floral industry. So, at its core, Mercury HQ is designed to unify your entire operation, what we call a single pane of glass that brings together local and network demand, connected platforms, store operations, and even fulfillment. So in simpler terms, Mercury HQ brings everything you need from order entry and delivery routing to payments and customer communication even into one seamless platform. It's customizable to the way you do business, whether you're managing a single storefront or even multiple locations. Mercury HQ adapts to your needs. And with real-time tools like route optimization, mobile access, or QR code scanning, it helps your team stay connected and efficient from the front counter even to the delivery van. So think of Mercury HQ as your shop's digital headquarters, bringing everything together so you can focus on what matters most, delighting customers and growing your business. Now, let's take a closer look at, what this all actually looks like on a day-to-day, starting with one of the most powerful aspects of Mercury HQ, and that's being able to manage your shop from anywhere. Let's be honest, right? Most florists aren't sitting behind a desk all day. You're on the floor, you're making deliveries, even managing events and running errands, or helping customers face-to-face. That's why being able to manage your entire business from the palm of your hand is a complete game changer. With Mercury HQ, that's exactly what you get, whether you're in the shop, out on the road, or finally taking that much needed vacation. You stay in control right from your phone. You can do things like accept and confirm new incoming orders instantly. You can receive real-time order alerts or track every delivery step by step. You can even handle customer questions with confidence because everything you need is right there in your hand. Mercury HQ simplifies your day-to-day, making it faster, more efficient, and a lot less stressful, less back and forth, fewer miss updates, and more time to focus on what really matters, whether that's growing your business or, unplugging for a weekend away. Now, let's talk about one of the smartest and simplest ways to increase your shop's revenue, and that's rush delivery. We all know that flower orders often come in last minute, right? A customer realizes a birthday was today, an anniversary was missed, or they suddenly need to send flowers for a special occasion. You know, these moments are emotional and time sensitive, and that's exactly when customers are willing to pay for more, you know, just for speed and certainty, right? Mercury HQ gives you a built-in rush delivery feature that lets you offer specific delivery time windows, like, for example, before 3 p.m., charge a customizable premium fee, and easily integrate it into your existing order process. Here's an example of the kind of language I heard one of the shops use with their customers. They had stated, we can deliver, or we can guarantee delivery before 3 p.m. for an additional $9.95. Would you like to add that to your order? So this isn't a hard sell, it's a helpful option that lets your customer solve a last minute problem with confidence. And for your team, it's built right into the order workflow. No manual adjustments, no guesswork. Also, designers and drivers see that rush flag, and delivery times are prioritized in the route. And the system keeps everything organized and on track. So it's a win-win. Your customer gets peace of mind, you generate additional revenue without any extra effort, and your shop builds a reputation for reliability when it matters most. So, you know, maybe the next time someone's in a pinch, Mercury HQ helps you save the day and you get paid for it too. Route planning is one of the most time-consuming and often stressful parts of a florist day, right? Mercury HQ takes that pain hopefully off your plate with just a single click. You know, for most shops, our built-in route optimization is more than enough. It handles up to 25 stops and even accounts for time deliveries. You know, building the most efficient path in seconds. No dragging and dropping, no guesswork. Just click optimize, review it, and your route is ready to go. And when those larger routes do come along, like for holidays or high volume days, Mercury HQ has you covered too with advanced route optimization. And this is a pay-per-use option that supports up to 60 stops and is perfect for one-off situations when your standard tools just aren't enough. The best part is, though, you only pay for it when you use it. So no monthly fees or subscriptions, just smarter routing when you need it most. And here's something at least I hear all the time. You know, what happens when the person who usually plans your routes is out for the day, right? Like a route manager and good ones, they're really good at what they do. But with Mercury HQ, the process is no longer tied to just one person. Anyone on your team can step in, click a button, and keep deliveries running smoothly. It's like having your best route planner built right into the system. Okay, QR code scanning is one of the simplest and most effective ways to boost speed and accuracy in your workflow. And it's built right into Mercury HQ. Every order can come with a unique QR code. Designers can scan it right at the bench to mark the order as designed, and drivers can scan it when they load their van. You can scan using the Mercury HQ mobile app, just point your phone and scan. Or if you prefer a physical scanner, we support both wired and wireless options. It only takes a second, and you know, it just eliminates manual entry, reducing the risk of errors like mistyping. Best of all, it syncs in real time. That means, you know, your team has the most up-to-date information, and your customers can get accurate updates without anyone needing to double back. When you combine QR code scanning with route optimization and proof of delivery, you can create a seamless, right, and professional experience from start to finish for your team and for your customers. One of the most impactful features in Mercury HQ is the order and delivery status page. This is a real-time snapshot of the order's journey from start to finish. It updates automatically as your shop moves the order through the workflow, no extra clicks or uploads needed. Now, access to this page, depends on how the order was placed. So if your customer ordered directly through your shop, whether it be online, by phone, or in person, you can control the experience and can choose to share this status page through your, confirmation emails. If the order was sent from FTD.com or wired in by another florist, they are your customer, and their support teams have access to this page, for service needs. Now, what makes this view so powerful is the context it provides. So if a designer adds a photo at the bench, it appears on the timeline. If a driver captures a delivery photo or signature, it shows up instantly under delivery details. This just builds confidence for your customers. They can see their flowers were delivered safely, beautifully, and even on time. And for your team, it reduces follow-up calls like, hey, did my order arrive yet? The customer already has the answer with time, location, and even photo proof. It's more than just checking a box. It's about, building trust, improving service, and delivering peace of mind all in one place automatically. When you're looking at the order and delivery status page, there's a small pin icon under the delivery detail section. Clicking that icon opens up this map view, showing both the recipient address and the driver's exact location at the moment they mark the order as delivered. This is a powerful tool, for accuracy and accountability. It gives your shop visibility into where that delivery driver, marked the order completed. Especially helpful in cases where the recipient might say they didn't receive it or the delivery location is complex. If your driver tapped delivered while still parked at the end of the driveway or even around the corner, you'll see that. It's just another layer of confirmation that helps your team, respond confidently to questions, verify fulfillment, and maintain a high standard of service. And because it's all built into Mercury HQ mobile app, it happens automatically. No extra steps for the driver, just real-time delivery visibility for your shop. Now that we've seen what Mercury HQ can do, I'd love to show you how it actually works in real time. I'm going to walk you through a few quick examples from like creating a rush order to optimizing the route, scanning for delivery, even reviewing final proof of delivery. You'll see how fast and easy it is to go from order taken to order delivered, and how your team can work smarter every step of the way. So I am going to go to my other screen and share another window here. Okay, the first thing I want to do is go over rush order, or the rush feature. So let me first start out by going into shop settings and showing you guys where this setting lives. So under delivery, pickup, and fees, we do have this section called fees and coverage. Underneath the map, once this loads, we're going to scroll down here for rush delivery fee. So right now, this is currently active. I can deactivate it just from the simple toggle. But right now, I'm telling my system that I want a $10 upcharge, a $10 delivery upcharge, right? If the order is submitted by 1 p.m. and delivered by maybe 3:30 p.m. I just want you guys to notice while I'm here, I do have a local delivery fee of $10. So when we implement this, this will make much more sense when we're in the create order screen. So let me get in there really quick and just get I'm going to skip a few steps in the order taking process, but I am going to just prop up product in here. Let's say $80. Let me get a recipient. Let me pick an address. Okay, down here, it automatically changed to florist delivered because I have the zip code set up in shop settings, and I have a delivery date of 6/3. So let's see here. you'll notice that I don't have a rush option. And let me change it to tomorrow's date, right? As soon as I change it to tomorrow, this rush order icon is now available. The reason for this is because where I'm currently located, it's past 1 o'clock, which was that time frame window, right? So I said, if the order is placed before 1, I can still deliver it by 3:30. You know, it's after 1 o'clock here. So that's why rush order is now available for tomorrow. So I am gonna just toggle this on, and notice it automatically put in the delivery time of 3:30 for me. But what's even better is that it automatically updated my delivery fee. So let me uncheck rush and show you what that looks like. My local delivery fee was $10, so that's why it's showing 10. But as soon as I toggle on rush, it updates it and does the upcharge for me at $20. Just know that even though we put in 3:30 as a delivery window, you can still change this. So if you have somebody who calls you at 10 o'clock in the morning and asks if you can deliver something by 2, you can most certainly click the rush and still change the delivery time and, you know, change it to 2 o'clock. Okay, I do want to go over QR code scanning because, you know, it's pretty fast and simple. Let's see here. I am going to go to my orders page, and I do want to show you that, you know, if you're on Essentials, you can find this inside of shop settings. Forgive me, I have 2 different systems going here. In the add-on features, you're going to find QR code scanning. So if you want to turn this on, you can turn it on. And the best part about how we built Mercury HQ and these additional features is that you can use a feature and try it out for a month. If it doesn't work for you, you can turn it off the next month, and it's a basically pay by month as you go. So just know that this is here in the add-on features. So let me go into orders, and I do want to show you guys that on the orders page, we do have this QR code scanning button up here. So I am going to act as a designer in this moment, and I'm going to click QR code scanning. So I do have a wireless QR code scanner hooked up to my system right now. It's a plug and play. This particular barcode scanner scans barcodes as well as QR codes. I'm just going to scan a few orders and show you how fast we can do certain things. One of the things that we got some feedback on quite a bit was being able to have a designer bulk move orders through a process. You know, when we come to peak times, there are some designers, you know, I see while walking through shops that are doing the same arrangement because it's a bestseller, and they're doing 5 at a time, right? So how do we move those 5 orders quickly through the workflow? So I do have designer worksheets printed. I know you probably can't see it all that close up, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you that we do have QR codes printed on the designer worksheet as well as the delivery slip. So all I'm gonna do is just scan some orders, and you're gonna see on my screen that they automatically pop up when I scan them. So let me just fly through here. Now, I just scanned 4 orders and immediately they showed up in the system. I can do one of 3 things. I can take this scanner, hold it up to my monitor, and scan the action that I want to take. If I want to move all of these orders to designed, I can do that by holding up the scanner to the monitor. I can also move my mouse and click the design button. There's a third option that I'll show you guys, but in the meantime, I am going to mark these orders as designed. So I'm going to click on designed, and a little toast message here pops up and tells you, hooray, like 4 orders have been updated. So if I were to go back to my orders page, you're going to see those 4 orders that I scanned are now sitting in a designed state, right? I do have quite a few orders in here for today, but there's my 4 orders. I did tell you that there was a third way that you can move an order through a workflow. Inside of shop settings and shop details, there's this option called printing preferences. So I'm going to scroll down here and show you that there is QR codes. You know, you can tell the system where to print these QR codes. So if you want them printed on your legal size invoices or your order details or the designer worksheet or even the trifold card, you can pick and choose which ones you want QR codes printed on. And then the option that you can do is print statuses. So instead of holding the scanner up to the monitor, you can also print these statuses. What I've seen some shops do is they print these statuses and they laminate it and they tape it to a designer monitor, right? Or, you know, I'm just putting out on this particular page that I just want to print the design statuses. So if a designer grabs a stack of orders and starts the design process, they can scan them and click InDesign. So that means everybody who's looking at order statuses can see that that order has been started. And then obviously I showed you what designs look like. Okay, the next thing I want to do is actually go into delivery, because I'd like to show you guys that you can use these scanners while creating routes as well. So inside of routes and create route, I have my create route page here. You know, all of my orders and pins are on the right on my map, and all of my orders are down underneath, right? Pink always indicates that they haven't been routed, and blue indicates that they have been routed or placed in the route. So I just want to show you guys, and you can keep an eye on orders and routes here, but I am going to scan, you know, just a few more orders here. Now, they're not going to be in any particular order, but I just wanted to grab a stack of papers and scan for you really quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually initiate the QR code scanner. So I'm going to click this button, and now you know that the system is ready to start scanning. So I'm going to scan. Oh, I did have another system I was printing from, so let me do that. Okay, so I just scanned, you know, a handful of orders. What you guys will probably have noticed is that it starts to add orders en route as I scan. And it is showing which obviously the current order status. So these 3 orders are currently designed, these 2 are not. But I also want to show you on the map that it turns those pins from pink to blue, right? So blue are orders en route, and again, pink is orders not en route. So we quickly scanned. You know, if I wanted to actually make that be the route, I could assign a driver name, and I could click on save. And then this is where we were talking about optimize, right? So I'm going to click on optimize. Now notice really quick, I do have some time deliveries in here. I have one by 4:30. Actually, I have 2 of them by 4:30. So I'm going to click on optimize. And now you're going to notice that it actually took those time deliveries and put them at the top of the list, because we're getting pretty close to that 4:30 mark, right? So I just wanted to showcase that, you know, that particular route and scanning orders. Quickly clicking on optimize will optimize it for the best path, and of course take those time deliveries into consideration. One of the things that I'm not, you know, able to show very easily is from the mobile app perspective. So everything that I just showed you today for QR code scanning with the physical device, you can also do that from your mobile app. So the QR, this is screenshots of my mobile app. And so you can see here in the orders page, you can click this icon and it will activate the camera on your phone through the mobile app. So you can start scanning QR codes from your phone, and it'll start building the list the same way we saw it on the web page. Same thing for create route. A driver can open up their mobile app and click the QR code scan with their phone, and they can load while they're loading orders onto their van, they can actually scan the QR code to indicate that it's going on this route. You know, a lot of times what we see, you know, during peak holiday, you know, the routing process is going to be maybe a little bit different during peaks. I've been in many shops over the years during peak holidays, and one of the things that I kept seeing consistently over and over again during peak is that, you know, you have your locations, right? We have our zones, they're indicated here on the map. So if you notice that, you know, zone whatever 7 or northeast, you know, zone 2 is getting rather large as far as, you know, there are so many arrangements going into that section. So I see a lot of times they'll fill up a cart with zone 2 orders, wheel it over to the next driver who's standing there or just got back and said, here's your next route. And all it is a cart full of orders. Well, just imagine that driver being able to, you know, wheel that cart out to the van and scan those orders while they're loading it into the van, or even scan while they're on the cart, put them on the truck, and have their route created and optimized for them already. So it's just another way to find useful little tools to help you guys stay more efficient, but also satisfy the unique opportunities around peak holidays. You know, I do want to showcase something that not a lot of shops know about. So as long as we're here, I'm going to show it really quick because it is one of my favorite features. I'm going to get out of delivery and come back in for a moment. Is the lasso tool. So if you don't know about this, you're going to love it. If you do know about it, just bear with me for a moment. But lasso tool is this little icon up here. It basically allows you to draw on the map because, you know, we want to maybe route from a visual perspective, right? Let's say that there's not a lot of orders today. You know, it's kind of spread thin. So instead of sending, you know, one driver, you know, to just one zone, they can take multiple zones. So I'm going to take this lasso tool and I'm going to, with my mouse, click and hold and draw on the map. And when I'm ready, I'm going to let go of the mouse. So, you know, I just want to showcase that I'm not going to close the circle. The system will close the circle automatically for me. I just draw it around the pins that I want it to take. So you'll notice it just closed the loop for me. And it marked all of those as blue. And you can see that it now put all of those orders in my route. Now, if I wanted to, you know, I could add or remove one off, right? So let's say this one's not ready yet, or it's a special handling, so I don't want them to take it. All you have to do is single click that pin, and it'll either add it or remove it, depending on where it currently is, right? So I'm going to remove that one, but let's say that I want to add this one, right? So again, single click on the pins will either add the orders to the route or remove them from the route. So just imagine that circle lasso tool. I click on save. I click on optimize. Now you can see this is kind of a strange, right? Like this is not how we would go. So I'm going to click on optimize, and it's going to, you know, redo these pins for a more efficient way. So here we go. It looks like I have 2 addresses in the same location, but or 2 orders in the same location. So we're just seeing the 2. So yeah, it's going to route it the most efficient way possible, and it's going to pull in those time deliveries up front. One other thing shops don't really know about is you can also drag and drop. So let's just pretend that I want to change 7 and 8, right? Let's pretend I want to change these 2. I can literally, you can see my mouse change, but I can hover over and just change, click and hold and drag and drop. It'll now change the direction of those stop numbers. So again, just wanted to showcase a couple of little things that not a lot of shops know about that you can do inside of Mercury HQ. Okay, let's see here. One last thing I wanted to showcase actually was just that proof of delivery. Inside of order journey, I'm going to go into an order that I delivered yesterday here. Inside of order journey, we can see this URL. And during the slide previously, this is the URL that I was explaining that you can choose to include this URL in your communication back to your customer or not. But anybody from the shop can also access it by clicking on the link here in the sidecar. It'll open up a new tab and it will show you the order status page. So, the design desk image, you can, make larger and view a larger image of it. Even the delivery photo, you can open it and look a little bit closer, even signature if you need to. So just wanted to showcase that really quick. It's just a nice way for shops to be able to communicate with customers. I will show you what the customer will see when the order is kind of in progress, right? So let me just mark an order really quick. This one's currently accepted. So if the customer were to access that order status page, this is what they're going to see. Order is in progress. It was received. It's currently in progress. I am going to mark it out for delivery. I'm not going to do it the create route way. I'm just going to do it the fast and easy way here. And I'm going to say that it's currently out for delivery. Now the order tile changes to out for delivery. Let me refresh this page. And instantly it's out for delivery. So I just wanted to show you, again, just what the customer sees during the whole process, right? So anytime if they're curious, they can come to this page and check out the link and see what the current status is. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I definitely just wanted to say, thank you so much for following along today. I know that we covered a lot, but I did want to leave room for you guys and to see if there's any questions. We covered things from routing to mobile tools to even proof of delivery. And I'd love to hear from you guys too. So feel free to ask questions about anything we've shown today, maybe features that you're curious about or how things work in your specific shop setup, or anything that came to mind during the demo. So Janet, I did want to check in really quick just to see if we had any questions in the chat.
Well, we don't at the moment. So everybody, and all your questions, go ahead and just simply type those in the question box. Thank you, Kristy. That was awesome. I love that lasso feature. That is super cool. So yeah, Mercury HQ can definitely do a lot of really cool things. While we wait for any questions though, what's coming down the pipeline for MHQ?
Oh, great one. Let's see here. I will do a little sneak peek, a little show and tell. So for those of you that are familiar with Mercury HQ, we are, I need to log into one of my test systems here just so I can give you a sneak peek. So let me log out really quick and I'll show you what we kind of have in the works. I'm going to log into one of my test codes here. One of my test shops that I'm in right now. When we go to the orders page, there is a couple of new buttons that are going to be visible to Mercury HQ users very soon. And it's part of a redesign that we're currently working on. We are trying to streamline design, and the user interface that you guys see. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from shops who have been using Mercury HQ since the beginning. And so it's definitely time for a fresh little user interface lift. So in the upper right-hand corner of the orders page, we will see these two buttons. I'm currently looking at what we all know to be the familiar view of, and we're calling it the classic view, but we have a new view coming and we're going to call this the beta view. So when I switch to the beta view, we are, reimagining how orders are kind of showcased in the order listing page. We're giving a lot more flexibility for you guys to be able to customize your view, as well as search for any attribute that you kind of want to. So I just wanted to showcase this a little bit and a sneak peek. The best part about this is that, if you guys wanted to explore the beta view and how we're showcasing these orders differently, you can switch back and forth between beta and classic view anytime you want, right? So if you have somebody who is maybe, tech savvy, or they're excited about new technology, or they're excited about change, you can have them play in the beta view. There's a lot of cool features in here that are coming down, and hopefully just the simplified process in how we're displaying information. Let me give you one last sneak peek. Every user that I talk to at different flower shops, different information is important to them, sometimes depending on their role in the shop. So, maybe as a designer, I may not want to see the recipient column, or I may not want to see the recipient address. I could drag and drop this order to the last column if I wanted to. I said order, but I meant the column. I can drag that column to the further right, so it's out of my view. Or I can customize my view and uncheck recipient, right? So if I wanted to see things, larger and more spread out, I can just uncheck that column so I don't have to view it. So that's just one little sneak peek of so many features that are currently in this orders page. So thanks, Jana, for letting me share that little bit that's coming.
Awesome, thanks. That looks cool. There's so many cool things. We do have a couple of questions. So Scott was asking, does Mercury HQ currently support house accounts with mid-month or monthly billing?
Thanks, great question. Yes, we do. So there are, there are a couple of different versions of Mercury HQ. If you just want to send and receive, that's what we call core. If you want to send and receive, but have your your other parties or your other wire services orders come into Mercury HQ, that's called Connect. And then we have another tier, which is Essentials. Essentials is going to give you customer management, payments. You can take payments, and house accounts would be part of Essentials. So I am going to just showcase really quick inside of customer directory. I'm sure I have a house account on one of these, I hope anyway. So let me just pop open this one particular customer and just see if I do. Minimize card on file, order history. So this particular house account does have, credit limit. This house account is set up with open item accounting, and we have selected to auto email statements. So what Mercury HQ does is automatically email statements out on the 1st of every month. So we're really trying to take those time-consuming, things that happen in old technology and just try to take it a step further. So Mercury HQ will email those house account statements at the beginning of the month. Great question.
All right. Richard was just wondering, how does Mercury HQ compare to Mercury point of sale? That might be a lot, like a really big question, but.
Yeah, that's a big question, but it's a great question. I've spent many years with Mercury point of sale. I actually used to go out and even install Mercury point of sale way back in the day. So again, I've been here for a long time and I've only been around the technology. So there is a lot to unpack here. A couple of things that I will say right off the bat. Mercury HQ was designed based off of a lot of the feedback that we got from Mercury point of sale users. Not having easy access to your system when in this day and age, you should be able to access your system from anywhere you are. I know of shops that, you know, have been in the family for generations. They're looking to pass down the shop to the next generation, but they're not ready to quite let go yet. So, you know, they are logging into Mercury HQ, you know, from their home in Florida, when they normally live in Wisconsin, right? They're down in Florida for a few months out of the year, and they're still working. They're actually processing orders, they're scrubbing orders. You know, they're able to manage this system from anywhere. And all you need is an internet connection or cell service, right? So if you have your laptop, you can log in from anywhere you are. You can go to mercuryhq.com and log in anywhere. Also, from your mobile app, you can log in. Mercury Point of Sale really tied you to the system. You know, I've seen a lot of ways where Mercury Point of Sale owners found creative ways to log into their system from somewhere else. The problem with that is that they always had issues where, you know, they tried to get into that system and maybe the program was disconnected or the system was doing updates and rebooted and their program wasn't running any longer. Or somebody else was physically at the shop working, trying to use that computer while you were trying to log into it. I feel as though that is the biggest difference between Mercury Point of Sale and Mercury HQ. We're trying to take a lot of the features that Mercury Point of Sale customers loved because it's been around for years, obviously. We have shops who are still holding strong on Mercury Point of Sale, and that's great. You know, they want to use the tools that works best for them in their shop. I'm all for it. But just the aspect of being able to manage your shop from anywhere, getting push notifications when you get a brand new order, being able to take a customer order because they have your cell phone number. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that from shop owners where they're like, you know, I wish I could just take an order, because I've seen where they're like, listen, the customer calls me and I put their order in my notes, right, on my phone. I put it in the notes, and when I get to the shop the next day, I look at my notes and I type in that order, and then, you know, I email them their invoice. You don't have to do that with Mercury HQ. You can literally take their order right then and there from the mobile app. You know, it's just the convenience, and you know, we're striving for a really modernized set of user experiences with Mercury HQ. When we did installs and training for Mercury Point of Sale, we would be there for 3, 4, 5 days, depending on the size of the shop, sometimes even longer than 5 days. And we would be there training. You know, we would have to spend so many hours with different user roles in the shops just to do training. We've taken things like order journey, for example, and we've streamlined it. We've taken something like ask and answer messages and utilized this concept of chats. You know, when we look at order journey, I should be on a wire order. Let me see if I have a wire order in my system really quick. When we look at ask and answer messages, of course I don't have one in here. You know, I can just type in this order journey at the very bottom and send the message. You know how much less training we have to do just because people understand this concept. This kind of looks like a text message conversation back and forth between someone, right? People understand it. You type in the message, you click on send. You don't have to send an ask or an answer depending on if you got an ask. You don't have to worry about that anymore. The system kind of does it for you. So again, there's lots of things. I could probably talk for hours upon hours about the differences, but we're just trying to streamline and make things more convenient where we possibly can, because we know that your time is valuable. So that's our biggest goal.
Thanks, Kristy. We do have a couple of people that are just wondering about, like, is there a transition process for Mercury from Mercury POS to Mercury HQ? Are they losing if they, is Mercury point of sale going away? Is it?
All great questions. So from my understanding, Mercury point of sale is not going anywhere right now. We are wanting to make sure that we are still focused on you guys as the customers, right? You guys run your business with this technology. If switching to Mercury HQ seems like the right idea, talk to our technology reps, find out about the intricate little details. Think about the things that you can't do without from Mercury point of sale and ask that technology rep, like, can I see it in action? We want to make sure that you guys have the tools that you need. If there's not a specific tool that's ready or inside of Mercury HQ, maybe, and you can't live without it right now, maybe Mercury point of sale is the right system for you at this time. But, if you're ready to be able to take your system, and technology just in a modern type of era, and the tool, it has all the tools that you need, you can make that change. We do data conversions from Mercury point of sale to Mercury HQ. So we bring your data in. So I want to make sure that you guys have the tools that you need first and foremost. So, if you're thinking about switching, just build out that list of things that you for sure can't do without, and talk to your tech rep. And when you guys do a demo, have that list ready and go over that list so you can actually see those tools, live and see it and make sure that it works for you.
All right. Looks like we're out of questions, although Nan does want to know how you get so many orders in the slow season, Kristy. You're scanning orders like crazy.
That would be a great plug for Mercury Online and my buddy Aaron. No, this is just a test system, obviously. I try to build my test system with test orders. Yeah. Good question, though.
All right. Well, since it looks like we are out of questions, do you want to throw up that final slide?
Yeah, I sure will. Okay, so before we go, if you're curious to learn more or would like to request a full one-on-one demo of Mercury HQ, just go ahead and scan this QR code that you're looking at right now that's up on your screen. You can just pull out your phone, open up your camera. It's a QR code that'll lead you to our Mercury HQ information page. There is a button on there, I believe, to request more info. You just fill out a quick form, and it'll go to our technology specialists so that they can book a time that's convenient for you and them and get you all the information that you need. But I just wanted to say thanks again for joining us today. I love talking about technology and I love talking about systems and tools. And I just want to thank you guys for your time. So thanks again for joining, and we look forward to helping you streamline, scale, and succeed with Mercury HQ. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristy. Yes, and thank you, everyone, as you said, for joining us. A handout in the handout section again is a PDF of her slides that will also be available with the recording on ftdi.com later this week. And then that recording also will be available on demand on the FTD Mercury Network Florist YouTube channel. You'll get an email, follow-up email with that link. For more education programming from FTD, we've got some great classes coming up later this year. Please visit ftdi.com to register for those upcoming free webinars and design shows and view past education programs on demand. So thank you, everyone.